Hello strangers, Formula One's back, and that means so am I. I will apologise at this stage for completely disappearing halfway through last year. Mainly I had a horrible job and had no time to do anything nice, but also I didn't have much to enjoy about Formula One last year, sadly. But it's a fresh start this year, and although the first race is obviously passed now, and we have a few ideas of what the season's gonna be like. I'm going to try and make an effort. I'm going to try and do vlogs more often again. Hopefully people maybe still watch them. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to talk for like 10 minutes maybe. And if you listen, hooray. If not, then why am I speaking to you? Anyway, so that was a good start. I did wake up to watch the race live. I set my alarm at 4:45 for a classic 10-minute snooze and then run to get to the television in time for the formation lap. Actually managed to get up, quite impressed. I was worried I was just gonna go, nah, I can't. But yeah, by the time I got to the television, we were already 5 men down, so no manner, but that was kind of to be expected. And then yeah, no Bottas, hurt his back, so I kind of regretted predicting him for third in my Badger GP predictions, but never mind. Get well soon, Valtteri. And then yeah, on the way to the grid, now I don't think this has happened in a while, to be honest. Yeah, 2 cars having engine blowouts on the way to the grid. That's crazy already. That's kind of what we were expecting in Melbourne last year when all the rule changes come in. But yeah, so that was a bit dodgy. Down to 13, I think. No, 15. 15 at that point, and then by the end of lap 1 we were down to 13 drivers. So yeah, it was interesting start to things. Some people are seeing it as negative, saying, we want to see loads and loads of cars on the grid, but I think it has its advantages for the sport. I mean, as a Jenson Button fan, with him driving around in 11th, I was praying for somebody to have another engine blowout in a very safe and fine way. So I think it is the unpredictability that people like. People ask for that every year. If it's just 24 cars going around in the same order, then nobody's interested. So, but I appreciate it's Formula One, you can't win. Someone's always going to complain about something, and that is clear straight away after the first Grand Prix of the season. So yeah, it was a shame for obviously those drivers in particular, especially Paul Magnussen. It might be the only chance he gets for a while. Shame after all the manner resurgence and everything, and everyone's so pleased for the underdogs that they never even turned a wheel the whole weekend. I don't know what's going to happen with them, to be honest. I mean, I'm kind of indifferent. Like, I don't want them to do badly. It'd be nice for them to be able to actually get back on the grid and do well. But yeah, I completely appreciate the point of view that it's kind of wasting everyone's time and effort if you're just going to go to all this effort and then show up and just sit around. So I don't get it, but then it's going to be all over my head anyway, probably. So fingers crossed they actually get to do something at some point. Yeah, hopefully Bottas and Alonso get well soon, since both of them are clearly in some pain or discomfort or confusion, thinking it's 1995 or something. We'll see. Hopefully they're back soon and racing again. So the big question really everyone was asking was the race boring? There's definitely 2 very strong camps. I think everybody wants to see more of a fight at the front. I mean, it's bad enough being a 2-horse race, being, it's going to be Hamilton or Rosberg, but I think it's actually even worse when, to be fair, there wasn't even a fight on. Hamilton qualified in front, Hamilton led the race the whole time, and he didn't really come under threat from Nico. I mean, I think he got the closest maybe 1.6 seconds. So, if I put my sort of mean head on, I'll say this is classic Rosberg a little bit. Apart from when he gets the sort of mental game going, when I think Rosberg has the edge, actually. Aside from that, he seems a little lackluster at times in terms of really taking the fight. Looking at some like really dogged performances, like, even Vettel, someone who's used to dominance, when he was fighting through the pack in Brazil, was it, when he was facing the wrong way on the first lap a few years ago. So I think, yeah, I'd like to see a bit more fight from Rosberg. If it is going to be only Mercedes and nothing else, we really need both of them to do something rather than just one, because otherwise, yeah, it's a 1-horse race or a no-horse race, or what you'd even call that. No horses. So yeah, I'm hoping Rosberg can hopefully take some points off Hamilton and just make it at least a fight between the two of them. If I'm being realistic or pessimistic, I'm not sure, in thinking that Williams, Ferrari, Red Bull are not close enough. They're just not close enough. Someone showed me a stat earlier that Alonso in the first race of 2014 was 35 seconds behind the Mercedes. No one said, oh, Ferrari are dreadful, Alonso's dreadful. And this year, Vettel in a Ferrari in third place was 34 seconds off the pace. So it's just a sign of Mercedes dominance, really, that's now an acceptable third place, to be 34 seconds off the pace. So yes, it's worrying. I'm really glad, by the way, on the Ferrari front, to see them actually doing well, because I don't have any major Ferrari allegiance. I was kind of quite young in the Schumacher era and everything, so although liking red car, I didn't have much to say on the matter. So I'm kind of neutral, but it's nice to see a team that has so much heritage in the sport and has never really gone away, doing well, and they've got great drivers. And it was a shame seeing Alonso and also Massa not doing well in such a fantastic team. Similar with McLaren, you see Jenson Button win the World Championship and gets an offer for a drive at McLaren. You think, amazing, that's one of the best teams there is. And since then, his closest shot was probably 2011, where at least he was second to the dominant Vettel. So yeah, I hope McLaren can get a point. How sad is that that's my main goal for McLaren? It's very sad. I did actually tweet at 4:55. Oh, just so you know, I didn't get up at 4:55 to watch Hamilton win and Button be last. And then it happened. It was to be expected, really, wasn't it? It's a tiny, tiny victory, the fact that he even finished the race without having an engine blow up and being a power unit down and a whole world of other problems. So, I feel bad for Magnussen, and obviously Alonso is now a power unit down as well, which is just cherry on the cake. So I don't know what to say about McLaren. I really don't. Part of me tries to be positive and say they knew they weren't going to be up there in the first season of having the McLaren-Honda combination, and that it takes time, and that maybe with all this working on it they've had, it really will be quite something when whichever year comes around when they're going to be good. I don't know whether that's next year or even the year after. It's a shame to have to write off a year so early and to just consider a race a test, which is not really the way Formula One should be. So I am worried, but I'm still glad Jenson has a drive, and I'm still glad Jenson's drive was announced on my birthday last year, which was pretty cool. That's the only reason I forgave Ron Dennis for keeping us waiting so long. It's because it was my birthday. So yeah, McLaren, completely worrying. It'd be interesting to see when Alonso's in the car, just how undrivable that thing is, because I love Jenson, but I appreciate the fact that he struggles when the car isn't to his liking. It's not too perfect. He can do a lot with an imperfect car, but I think Alonso in recent years certainly, and any year, but he is very good at dragging a dodgy car up the grid to snatch some points. So I think he'll be a real sign of how McLaren Honda actually are for the season going forward. So I don't know, I don't think it was that boring. I was disappointed, as I said, with the battle for first, but again, I tweeted this, I just said, if you take away the top two, this is a good race. You've got Ferrari and Williams sort of sparring at first for the top place, or third as it was. And then you've got amazing rookies like NASA or however you want to say it, the people going to space, NASA, coming up into Sauber, and no one really knew about Sauber's pace because they were so distracted by all the court proceedings that just made them look like idiots. I stand by that. But the fact of the matter is they've got a good car, so that's quite exciting. So you think whichever driver combination ends up in it, they've actually done an amazing task over winter to go from having nothing last year, which was just tragic, to getting 5th and 8th in their first race. Absolutely incredible. Again, I'm not massively pro or con with Sauber. I kind of neutral to them. Last year I was just sort of not bothered because they were all a bit greige and there was sort of Sutil going on, and nobody likes Sutil. So yeah, I was really pleased to see it. Again, I was neutral to the rookies, as we all are when the season begins, and it's just nice to see them doing well. And I think despite the fact that at the front it's so dominant and just unattainable for the other teams, other than Mercedes, it's nice to see that in the midfield, at least, everybody gets a shot. Ericsson, everyone just said, he's just nothing, because he's in a caterham and he does nothing apart from get lapped and get in people's way. And it just goes to show that if people actually get a chance in a half decent car, that they are good drivers. So, you know, I'm quite pleased for both Nasser and Ericsson that they got a good shot in the Sauber, and hopefully they get to keep it. I think Van der Garde might have settled the case this afternoon. This is the advantage of doing the vlog like 2 days after the race. You get extra little news snippets. I'm going to shut up soon, by the way. It's 10 minutes already. Oh my god. It's always going to be long, aren't they? So yeah, I don't think it was that boring. I think with any race you need to find your own fun. You need to find the things that make you smile about it. You can't just say, you know, looking at that, at the result, you know, my favourite drivers are like Button and Grosjean. Where were they? Grosjean was in the garage, Button was trundling around in the last 2 laps down. Tragic. And, you know, my ultimate favourite top 2 drivers in positions 1 and 2. No. So, you know, on the face of it, I hated the race. You know, the result was awful for me. But I enjoyed watching it. There were some great battles. Even if it was just Jenson Button and his old teammate Perez in last place, like sparring for that potential final point, it was a bit of fun. Even things like, okay, pushing Grosjean into the garage, I was fuming at that point, but then the Lotus mechanic like tripping over the wheel and accidentally setting off his fire extinguisher, that made me giggle. So I just think you've got to find your own fun, and for some people fun is complaining, so they find any reason to complain. So, you know, if you want to do that, cool, but I'm going to just sort of laugh at silly mechanics and epic marshals, like that one with the beard that was picking up a piece of debris, I think it was off Perez, and running practically in slow-mo in real life in front of the camera. That was fun. Yeah, so that's sort of it for my thoughts on this race, because it's already like really long. What did you think? Comment or whatever, or I will watch other videos that people have done and see what people thought. And yeah, we'll look forward to Malaysia. We'll see if we get Bottas back. We'll see if we get Alonso back. And yeah, let's see if McLaren can ever scrape a point for my boy Button. So until next time, I will hopefully keep doing these videos, and hopefully you don't mind watching them. If you accidentally stumble upon my face, hello. And yeah, I will see you guys for the next race in Malaysia in a couple of weeks' time. Okay, bye.